So anyway, we are going to be doing a top 10 list of each of our...
Man, I just hate Asians.
Shut up! Okay, we are going to be doing a list of the top 10 favorite anime from each one of us.
What the hell is this?
What, did you send something?
Is that the Bosch video?
What the hell are you...
You're fixed.
Oh,
I just saw it right before you pressed record, so I decided to link it.
I feel a song coming on.
Okay,
While we're recording this, I'm gonna listen to a song about a guy being a cuck.
Good lord.
I think I feel a song coming on.
This is already falling apart.
Yeah.
Like Wheezy.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, so...
I slept for 4 hours last night. Don't expect me to have intelligent thought.
Font?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start with mine. So most of my picks on here are going to be due to the manga because I read a lot more than I watch shows. That's a thing that a lot of people can back me on. Anyway, number 10, the MHA manga. My Hero Academia the show is fairly good. I think most people can say it's a good show. But I think that the manga, due to this, the most recent arcs, is way better than the show. Like, volume...
Yeah, I agree with that.
Volume 24 to the end are, like, 10 times better than anything that's shown in the anime. And, this most recent...
Wait, am I on 24?
What?
I'm checking something. Give me a second. Keep talking.
Okay. And, I would say because of the most recent chapter alone puts this at number 10. I was not expecting how good it would get at this point. And,
Oh, yeah, I am on 24. Okay.
yeah, so you're gonna start seeing how good it is.
No, I'm reading One Piece.
I don't mean now. Well, yeah. I just thought, why don't we everyone do their number 10 and then we'll move up to number 9.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because that's what I saw the Geek First
No,
do. When they rank the Marvel shows.
Okay, so Colin, you do your number 10 choice now.
Alright, so my number 10 was The Promised Neverland. Because I really liked the first season. I actually wanted to binge the entire season at one point.
I watched it all in one sitting. It was very fun.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but Sawyer didn't want to do that. So, yeah, the first season was very good. It had some decent characters, I guess, and the plot was good and had some interesting concepts. The second season's just kind of mediocre. I don't think it's really that bad, but it's not good.
If you saw how good the manga got, then you would really be surprised, like, the difference.
Yeah, I know, but I never read that manga, so... I don't know, just kind of mediocre. I haven't even finished it yet, but I'm sure it's not gonna change my opinion. So there you go, Promised Neverland.
Travis, what is your number 10 pick?
The original FMA anime.
Mm.
I haven't watched it in like 2 years, but I just remember it being still really good, and the end just really made me want to know what was going to go on, and then Cockers and Shimbala came out and didn't answer anything, but still.
It changed, it answers something. It's like, hey, you know how, like, this thing happened? Now this thing
Okay,
happened.
there's no way I can get through this without saying minor spoilers for some
FMA
series.
is so old, I don't think anyone really would care, but I still don't want to say
Okay.
that.
I mean, I want to watch it.
Yeah, that's why we're not going to say anything.
You haven't seen the goddamn. Okay.
I haven't seen the original
He's seen
yet.
Brotherhood, he hasn't seen the original.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, well, that my synopsis of FMA, the original, is that it is a decent enough series. I haven't watched that much stuff or read that much stuff. I just watch really long stuff. That's it. So that's why I don't have too many. All right, go. What is next?
My number 9 is Dragon Ball manga. My first impression of Dragon Ball was watching the first 4 episodes of the anime, subbed. That should really explain that. I did not. I genuinely felt like amount of panty shots, and the annoying voices are really what drove me away from Dragon Ball the first time I watched it. Then I read the manga, which is way faster paced and way more entertaining because Toriyama shows a very good understanding of how.
The drop tits.
What? He
Making
shows a
joke.
very good understanding of how you can do action in a manga. I think 1,000 people have said this before, but he is the master of action manga. And then, since this is also talking about this, that means the anime Z is the same as this manga. Like, this manga goes all the way to the Boo arc, which the Boo arc is mainly the reason that this is number 9. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, Boo arc's kind of cringe.
It's just like, hey, you know how cool this thing is? Well, now we're gonna ruin it. Yeah, that's the entirety of the Boo arc. Anyway, number 9 for Colin.
Okay. My number 9 was Noragami. The only reason it's so low is because I think the first season really sucks. So I'm not going to talk about that season. It only had like a few good episodes. But the second season is really good. It had really great characters and really good. It had a really good plot until like the last few episodes where they go on this random journey. But even then, I liked Ebisu that they introduced. He was like my favorite character in the show.
Let's not say the character names that are late in the show.
Well, it's just a name. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying he's one of my favorite characters. Yes, he's one of my favorites. And I really I think the show peaked about like a few episodes in to season 2 up to like episode 7 maybe. I don't remember how long it lasted exactly, but that was really good. And I'm actually excited to read the manga for it. Yeah,
My
really
brother's
funny
an
as well.
origami manga.
It got a lot funnier after the. I mean, it was already funny in the first season. That was like the one good thing about the first season. Okay, I'm good.
All right. So my number 9 was Hunter x Hunter. Just because, well, one, I watched
2011.
2011. I haven't seen 1999. So yeah, Hunter x Hunter 2011 is pretty good, to be honest. I've read a little bit into the manga afterwards, and volume 33 and 34 are the only reason why it's even on this list, just because I really like what's going on around them.
Yeah,
Story, you know what I'm talking about? The pacing in Chimera Ant sucks dick, but...
And the pacing in Succession Contest is even worse, somehow.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't want to read the next 2 volumes, but yeah. Otherwise, it's really good up until Chimera Ant, and then the arc after Chimera Ant is also pretty good.
I thought you said.
And then the beginning of the next arc is also really good.
Yeah,
I thought you said Chimera Ant was good.
Yeah, Chimera Ant is good.
For the first
It's not
half.
as good as, like... It's not as good as Phantom Troop.
It goes, in the second half, it goes into something I like to call Dragon Ball pacing.
Not even.
But even worse.
It's worse.
It's like an entire 20-minute episode will happen and there's like 5 seconds have passed.
Yeah! It's so stupid.
And
I watched the entire Chimera Ant arc in like 3 days. It's 60-something episodes. Like, it felt like it was going on for forever.
It took me a month to read the Chimera, to watch the Chimera Ant arc. Just because of the second half. I got through the first half in like a week. The final
for
2
me,
weeks.
For me, because I'm already not watching that show a lot, but you know how slow I watch it, and that arc is going to take me like a few months. So
You were Chimera Ant for a year.
Yeah, it's
it'll
horrific.
It'll just be a few months.
No, you're going to be on it for a year, I swear.
If I watch one like every day, it'll be
I
fine.
was gonna say it literally took me watching half an episode a day because I couldn't finish the episodes. That's how boring they got.
I'm very excited.
Number 8, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the anime.
Wow, that's low.
This is a lot of I've just seen a lot of better things than JoJo since the last time. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This used to be my favorite anime back when I had watched like 5 animes. It genuinely, if I was including, the reason I don't include the manga is because there are really good things in the manga. There's also a lot of worse things. Like part 1 is longer somehow, which
But it was better pacing, I thought.
I felt it was boring. It was more boring because of the length. You don't need to you don't need to make something. Obviously, that was the original length, but I think that making it shorter really did work in its favor. And I think that, and plus the voice acting and the music and everything makes the sad scenes sadder and the funny scenes funnier, which always helps because because as much as I get emotionally invested in a manga, I can't really do anything about how I can't really get affected just by drawing. Because it's still a drawing, but if it has a real person's voice behind it, it really helps to affect the emotional weight of a scene. And that's definitely the biggest plus of the JoJo's anime. And if Part 6 isn't revealed in April, I'm going to scream.
Yeah. I mean, are you gonna have the manga also on this list, or like? Because I know you preferred like every part that was.
Yeah, but I'm not separating. I already said that we're not allowed to separate into 2 sections. I just think that those later parts, some of them are really good, but some of them like have very mediocre moments. Like the new one. We've been waiting months. In the past 5 chapters, the exact thing has happened for 5 chapters straight.
No, I think they've been making a lot of progression. I think it's been getting really good.
It could be faster.
I know, but still.
Me, as somebody who's not caught up on Part 8, I have no idea what they're talking about.
You'll see.
Yeah, it's very insane, but it's good. Okay, now my number 8 is Danganronpa, the animation.
Shut the hell up now. No.
Okay.
No, I'm allowed to talk about it, what I want.
Okay, fine. Well,
So,
you're gonna put this on here.
First things first, the game is way better. The game is, like, way better. But I didn't really mind the anime that much. I thought it was fine. Like, it's a fine substitution. I still had fun with it. The voice acting was pretty good for the most part. Worse than the game for most of the voices, but like they still felt like the voices from the games, and it's still the same good plot and like the same fun characters and stuff. It still has all the greatest moments from the game. It doesn't really skip out on anything. It only skips out on the stuff that you kind of have to skip out on, which is like, hangouts and stuff, because how would they choose which characters that he hangs out with, because you're supposed to choose it in the original game. But yeah, it's good. They reused the soundtrack, which is fine with me because it's a great soundtrack. The visuals were very, very faithful, and they also felt like the game. So yeah, there you go. It's good. I'm excited to keep playing through the second game, which I'm playing right now.
I have one comment on this, Colin.
Yeah.
Genocider show.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
People prefer that.
All right. I believe it's my turn, and we're on number 8, right?
Yeah.
All right. My number 8 is Dragon Ball Z through Super, because I didn't watch the original. So yeah, Z is this is only watching, and I read the Super manga, but I've also watched the show, so I'm just talking about that.
You can't talk about Super if you're talking about the show, because Dragon Ball Z is a separate show from Dragon Ball Super.
True, that is a different show.
Okay, and I'm only talking about Z, whatever. Yeah, so Z is just, the action's good, there's a lot of filler, and I feel like some of the fights can be drawn out, but it's still really good. Like, I watched almost an entire season of it in one day, which isn't much, because I binge shows like a maniac, but like, they're 30-episode seasons. I woke up at 6 and then went to bed at 10 after watching it. I was that invested in it.
I thought Z didn't have seasons.
It
I thought it was
does.
just like made into arcs.
Well, arcs are considered seasons.
Yeah.
The DVDs I own literally say seasons on them.
Okay.
Yeah, also, the season I'm talking about is season 6, the Cell games.
Cell games is
I
really
really
good.
like Cell games.
Well, where would you say is the highlight of the show, Travis?
The Cell arc, because Freeze arc has a lot of just drawn out fights and stuff. The whole
Yeah.
Cell arc from season 4 to 6 is just the peak of Z. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, but I think that the Frieza arc in the manga is definitely better paced than the Cell arc in the manga, but in the anime that is definitely true about the pacing. Good
Yeah.
lord.
Okay, so the entirety of season 3 is one fucking fight, and it's 31 episodes.
For
And it angers
Frieza?
me.
For Frieza?
Well, no, it's not technically one fight. It's just a bunch of it's 10 episodes of the fight, and then the rest of it is the characters talking in the background as well. The fight is happening.
That's boring. I don't want to watch that.
You don't have to. We never said you did. And
I
also,
know.
it just a lot of stuff goes on while that happens. I'm pretty sure they have like an entire filler arc while they're fighting.
You're sure that you're really gonna watch that show with Mom? She will not like that.
I'll get to it. And also,
Sure.
we chose Attack on Titan.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, sorry, number 7.
Yeah. Number 7, Kimetsu no Yaiba. No, Demon Slayer. So this is talking about the Demon Slayer anime yet again, because as much as the manga's events become amazing, I genuinely feel the animation is what upheld Demon Slayer and what made me want to watch Demon Slayer. Like all of the breathing forms are way better animated than like most things in like any anime.
Yes, very true.
Even like stupid ones like beast breathing still look really cool with the anime.
What's stupid about beast breathing?
It's called beast breathing.
So,
My point being, they made it look. They made something as mundane as insect breathing look insanely cool, because in the manga, as I read it didn't look that cool. Just insect breathing.
so it's fine. Just cut it. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't have anything left to say anyway. Just you talk talk.
All right. Number 7 is Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. So, it's a really great comedy. Obviously, I think the comedy is a lot funnier in season 2, but like season 1 still has so many great episodes. I really love the episode where they're in the mansion and
Which
It's
one?
haunted,
The Ancient a huge chunk of the show.
I love that episode. I love. I just love a lot of the episodes. I love the one with Verdia. Wait, no,
That's season 2.
Bonnier.
Oh, okay.
See, I watched the dub for that show. Patrick
Staites
Staites
definitely
as
adds a lot.
Bonnier is just the perfect casting. It's so great.
Anyone asking why we watched the dub? It's because that's the only thing available on HBO Max where we watched it. At
I probably would have
at
watched
least
the
at the
dub
point where we watched it.
because it's a great dub. Anyways, yeah, it has really creative settings. Obviously, it's really beautifully animated, which is weird.
Well, in the
Probably
second
like
season.
some of the highest quality animation I've seen. Yeah, it's really great characters as well. Even the movie is like, I mean, it's probably like a filler movie, but
It's not filler. That was in the manga.
okay. or
Not
something like
light
it.
novel. It's a light novel.
Yeah, it
Supposed
was.
to comment on that.
The movie was really great. It was like probably as good as the show.
If your movie starts with someone destroying the ecosystem, then it's a great movie.
Oh yeah, they
Obviously.
forgot about that. So yeah, really great. And we're watching ReZero, and see, I'm not doing any anime that I haven't finished yet, and I haven't even included any manga on here because I have only read 2. But yeah, it's really great, and I prefer ReZero at the moment, but we'll see what happens when I'm done with ReZero.
Okay.
Hold on.
I think ReZero probably. I didn't include it because I just like. I probably would have put it near the top, but I just didn't include it because I didn't feel like putting it on for some reason.
Yeah, it's really great though.
If I had watched more than one episode, I probably would have put it on the list.
So yeah, Trevor, you should. Anyway, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Code Geass, but I haven't seen the second season yet, so this is only first season. Anyway, the first season is like, I'm trying to think of the best example. It's like, it's mostly outsmarting the enemy. It's like Death Note, but like done better somehow.
But you're gonna
But,
put Death Note higher anyway.
I didn't even put Death Note on here. Just because the second half sucks ass.
That's fair. I mean, I heard the same with Kid Code Geass, but we haven't seen it, so we can't.
I
Really
know it does, and I'm not excited, but I'm watching it.
Well, yeah, but you still haven't. You can't rate it based on that. That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so the first season's just really good, solid anime. I'd say a good, solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. It's only number 7. That must mean you have a lot of good stuff. Now, this next one is going to be a huge surprise to you two because of how much I talk about it. Number 6 is Chainsaw Man.
The fuck?
Chainsaw Man is definitely an amazing story with Fujimoto. The way he writes characters was a huge surprise for me. I thought it'd be something stupid and edgy because it's called Chainsaw Man for like good lord. But when you actually get into it, it's surprisingly like really well written and like good plot twist. And I think even his art is definitely propels it, even though he really can't. He's not very good at distinguishing like characters.
Can't really. Yeah, me reading that is just like I don't know who is who. Like they all have black hair and they all just they don't look the same.
Power and Denji do not have black hair, but okay.
They don't, but
yeah, but characters like Reze are like obviously unique, but you haven't met them yet. Characters like Reze are far more unique, but like it's just that's early on characters like Kobeni and Aki's girlfriend, I forgot the name of. The only difference between them is that one of them wears an eye patch.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Action's pretty well drawn, so I'll give it that.
Yeah,
You haven't even gone to good parts.
Yeah.
I'm on volume 3.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's your number 6, Colin?
My number 6 is My Hero Academia.
That's much better than expected.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, but see, the thing is about it is I know it's quality, and it's a pretty good show. It's just, it's never been my favorite. I think the fan base kind of ruins it for me, which I won't get into, I guess, but I just find it kind of toxic sometimes and kind of annoying, but...
Well, fan base is not how you rate a show. We are talking base.
I know. It's a good show. That's why I put it so high. I like the characters. I think some of the story, like some of the arcs, are really good. Like, I liked the sports festival. I liked the. I didn't like anything else in season 2. I liked the summer camp arc. I liked the what was the other one? Season 3, the tournament, whatever it was.
Yeah,
That was
provisional license. Yeah, I
is-
liked that. I liked the Yakuza raid, and I liked the Gentle Criminal one.
that's odd considering
And-
you've done nothing but complain about the Yakuza raid for the past year.
It's too long. It's too long, but
It's
I
13
like
really
episodes.
I like a lot of the individual episodes.
really isn't too long,
And
but okay.
should I talk about the manga as well, or
I mean,
am I allowed to do that?
you seem to be talking about the anime, so I don't think you can
I
include
am.
manga.
Fine, I'll just bring up the manga, but it's not really going to affect my ranking. Yeah, I've been reading the manga, and while I didn't like the Class 1A versus Class B, I really liked the Metahuman Liberation Army arc. It's the best arc that I've seen in the both anime and manga, so I'm looking forward to reading more. So yeah, pretty good show.
Yeah, honestly, I gotta say that it's anime. It was surprising how much they mentioned the metahuman liberation before it happened.
Yeah, I know. Going back and seeing some of the clips where they actually mentioned it is weird, because I actually knew what they were talking about now.
Anyway, Travis, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer.
Manga or anime?
The manga. Or, I guess, I didn't read the part that's in the anime, but I read the rest of the
I
manga.
mean, yeah, that's fine as long as you saw the thing at the beginning. Like, as long as you know.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so Demon Slayer was honestly surprising. I knew it was going to be good, but I did hear some, stuff about it not being really good, the manga at least, while going into it.
Never heard that. We said it had pretty bad art, but that was really its biggest problem.
Yeah, that's it. But so the manga genuinely surprised me at some points with arcs that I'm not going to mention because
Well, yeah.
Colin is still not reading it.
Well, also the thing is that that's one of those shows where like the arc names actually are spoilers.
I know, that's why I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the arc that happens during the movie is genuinely really, really good.
Yeah, I don't know how they made it into a movie. It was a pretty short arc.
I mean, it was like a literal volume anyway, so.
It's a short movie. It's an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just
That's
saw
not
Heroes.
bad.
I just saw Heroes Rising, which was like 2 hours, so it's kind of surprising.
Heroes Rising is good.
Yeah.
But but Demon Slayer, it has a really big twist near the end, and yeah.
Yeah, of course. Every single. I don't think there's a single Demon Slayer arc that hasn't ended with some huge surprise. Like,
Yeah,
of
honestly.
course, that Spider Forest.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That was in the anime.
Yeah.
No one forgot the Spider Forest from the anime.
Oh yeah, them. Yeah, I remember them. Of course.
All right.
My number,
Sorry, your number
My
five.
number 5 pick is Dr. Stone. This one is already an A+ just from the concept alone. It's just rebuilding society from the Stone Age, but knowing like modern stuff. I love it. I love the concept alone of just having to figure out how to free everyone from the stone. It has a huge mystery of like, why did this happen? Who did this? How can we prevent it? And that's we still don't know who caused the full world to turn to stone. That's still a thing by chapter 188. But I think that another great thing is the characters. It has great character writing where every character is very entertaining. But this is also one of those manga where they do not feel like killing off any characters. So don't fear that if you ever go into this.
Hey, Senku doesn't die.
Well, I mean, he's the main character.
I know.
I just realized I haven't been full screening this for like the past 20 minutes. Good lord.
Great.
Yeah, I would say that is easily its best aspect is the characters, but the story itself is still pretty good too. Like, that's all I really gotta say. It's pretty simple. Everyone read it.
All right. So my number 5 is Darling in the Franxx, and it might seem a little high because I said.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Why? You have to listen to me. I have to listen.
No, I need to use the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I was just making a joke because you mentioned Darling in the Franxx.
All right. So it's higher than a lot of the other ones because I really like the story. It's very, very unique and different. And while it doesn't always work, when it does work, like it's some of the best like anime stories I've seen. It's very mature and realistic, and they progressively tell you more and more about what their situation is. Because when you first watch the show, you have no idea what's going on, and it's not even good for like 6 episodes. But when you get to
that's really good explanation for your number 5 pick.
But then when you get to episode 7, you start to learn more about the world. And I don't even think those first 6 episodes are bad, because I bet if I went back and watched them, I would understand a lot more about them, because I was just confused the first time. But once you go back, it makes more sense. And so from like episode 7 onwards, I think it's really great at like balancing the fun with just telling you more and more lore, and the story just ends up picking up very quickly, and it just feels like it never stops at that point. And it leaves off on a note that could end the show, but it could leave room for another story as well. And obviously the characters are great too, very well developed, and I wouldn't mind rewatching this show, to be honest. It was very good and unique. All right, I'm done.
Okay. I did get up also. I just didn't say I was back.
You got back at
Yeah.
at the perfect time.
All right. Yeah. So my number 5 is JoJo's. This is the anime, because if it was the manga, it'd be like 4. That's it.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm splitting the anime and manga separately, just because I feel like it is still a lot differently paced. But whatever. So yeah, JoJo's is just really, really good. Part one sucks ass, and it would be higher if part 1 didn't exist. Okay, no, it'd be higher if part 1 was done better. But yeah. So otherwise, it's really good. Part 4 and 5 are the best ones of the anime.
For sure.
Mainly because part 5 is animated really well, and part 4 just has a really good story. And no, Colin, part 2 is the 4th best one.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Well, I'll say my opinion on all of them in a little bit.
All right, but yeah. So yeah, that's it.
All right.
Part 5, best part. There we go.
Yeah, that's good.
That's also a hot take.
I don't care. I like part 5.
It's one of the best parts for sure. All right, go ahead, Sawyer. Number 5.
Number
4.
Number 4, Attack on Titan. This is a great series. I think everyone is obsessed with Attack on Titan right now. Let's be honest.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I mean the people in the internet. Christ, I didn't mean literally everyone.
I'm like 7 episodes in, so.
I haven't even seen any of it.
Yeah, but my point being, Attack on Titan is one of the best written series, because you can, if you just from the foreshadowing, you can predict the end of the series from the first episode.
Oh, well, I should go back and try to do that.
Don't.
Okay.
You won't understand it because there's a huge reveal very late in the manga that just explains like everything, and it's something that that's like the biggest problem, is that you can't predict that specific twist that explains a lot of it.
Okay.
But there are other things, like for example, like at the beginning of season 4, they mention this thing that doesn't become important until like very late in the manga. But I don't want to talk about this because it's still airing and everyone is watching it. I don't want to spoil the manga. So that's all I'm going to say about it.
Alright, cool. So number 4 for me is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So I mean, everybody that I know says this show is like fantastic and it's like one of the best. And I'd still say it probably is. It's just, I don't think it's as great as other people say it is. Because, I mean, part 1 really sucks. Like, I don't think there's anything good about that part.
The opening.
The opening?
Don't count as part of the
No, he
show.
said there's nothing good about it, though. I'm just saying the opening is good.
I think the first opening from the other show is better personally, but I mean, whatever. But yeah, it's part 1 sucks, and I don't really like part 3 either because it's too exposition heavy. But even that part had like some really good setup and reveals. But you know, part 2 and part 4 and part 5, especially 4 and 5, are like, yeah, they're definitely some of the best anime I've seen. It's just, if you want to get into that series, you really have to wait through a lot of shit. And by the time you get to part 5, you're just like, all right, I'm all in. This is great. I want to watch this whole season right now. And yeah, good characters. I don't like the humor whatsoever. It's not funny to me, but I like the characters a lot anyways, and I don't mind them saying cringy jokes just because that's part of that show's charm, I think, even though it probably was not on purpose at all.
When you still talking about FMA?
Yes.
I don't think that the jokes are as I think that really, as much as I love Vic, I think that he is a huge part of why why those jokes don't work as well, because his voice is kind of annoying after he screams for the 50th time.
Yes.
Who are you calling short?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
I can't do good Edward voices.
The lore of that series is really great. They explain everything really well. Like, they explain to you the history of the world and how And you really have to be paying attention during that show. They explain the different wars and stuff that happened in a lot of detail, and it's just surprising how much thought they put into that world. Yeah, it's a great show. By the end, you're like, yeah, this is a perfect ending. This doesn't need to go on any longer.
Yeah, I'm glad that Arakawa decided to stop it after 10 years. Like, it did not need to become a One Piece. Just 10 years is enough for that show.
Yeah, it's a perfect length. Alright, yeah. It's good.
So, my number 4 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yeah. So, it's pretty much basically the same thing that Colin said, except for, well, I watched this show in 3 days, and when you watch shows as fast as I do, you don't get as attached to everything, but it was still really good. I can see why people still, like, love it to this day, even though it's 11 years old at this point.
It's funny that you did this. You watched all 3 episodes. You watched them in 3 days just to spite me. Because I was ahead of you, and you're just like, I'm just gonna finish it so I know more than you.
No, I was going to watch it anyway. I also just wanted to, just get the huge, fuck you. And
exactly, so you did to spite me.
Yeah.
Anyway, my number 3 pick is Great Teacher Onizuka, or GTO. This is...
Never heard of that in my entire life.
I just learned about it recently. There was this video I found called "The Manga That Taught Me How to Live." I was interested in it, so I listened to what he said and then read it, and I was genuinely surprised on how amazing it was. Basically, the plot is just this like gangster becomes a teacher at a school full, and his class is full of problem children, and since he was a problem child, he knows how to knows what they're going through. It's insanely. It's very heartwarming. Like Onizuka is a great character, and I never expected to grow attached to the assholes of the class, because like the first chapter that he is in the class, someone photoshops his face onto a picture of gay porn.
Oh god. Did they draw that?
Yes, the creator actually drew that.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, that's also one of those ones I heard they screwed it over in the anime version because it's very, very graphic in the manga.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway,
I don't think any of the casual viewers need to see gay porn, it's fine.
Well, I mean, they cut off the gay porn, but the other one, of the BDSM one, is not cut off. That's the one that's disturbing.
Okay, then.
Anyway, Colin, moving on.
Yeah. So my number 3 is Death Note. It does have problems near the end, but to be honest, those first 12 episodes are just, I think they're like a masterpiece of storytelling. And even the stuff after, when they introduce Misa and they have the whole what was it called again? That company, I don't remember. The company of
Yotsuba.
Yotsuba, yes. Even then, I still thought it was fine. It's nothing groundbreaking at that point, but still, very unique. And Light's plan is pretty stupid, but once you get past that, it's still pretty good. And, those first 12 episodes obviously they would bring it up onto this list just alone. And the end kinda sucks, but then you get to the last episode and it's kind of all worth it anyways, because...
And it's over near.
Yeah, so the last episode is pretty in line with the first 12 episodes. Yeah, so it's great. I've never seen... I don't think I've ever seen a show quite like that, and I'd love to watch more stuff like that, but...
Code Geass is you should watch Code Geass.
It's so unique. I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to watch a show quite like Death Note, so that's why it's so high. Alright, I'm
okay.
on.
So, my number 3, we're on number 3, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so my number 3 is Naruto.
Right.
You see, I will admit it. I love this show I love this manga and show way too much. I don't know why. Maybe because the characters are great, but whatever. I just genuinely really like the characters. The fight scenes are pretty good. I like the concept. It's just ninjas, but it's cool ninjas. The entire character of, I don't count this as a spoiler because you don't know who the hell he is. Madara is just the best fucking thing created. Okay, no, not the best thing, but still,
to be
he's
fair,
great.
You made the profile picture that I still haven't edited of the channel.
Yep. But like, Naruto is just amazing, and it should still be watched, even though it's not as good as like One Piece or some parts of Dragon Ball. It's still really good.
I honestly think that Naruto, it almost made my list. Like it probably would have made my list. I just think that some of the parts just are really like bad. Like I think even the Buu Saga of Dragon Ball wasn't bad. It was just like not as good as the earlier parts. Well, I think parts like and of course parts like Pain are amazing, but like parts like the first arc of Shippuden I really found bad. Like that was really painfully boring to me.
Yeah, I guess.
No, this is my opinion.
Anyway, I just liked all of it. Like, there was only a few parts that I just really didn't like. And that was, like, the Land of Waves, which is the first arc in the entire series.
I thought the Land of Waves was really good too, because of, like, it was surprising how much you, like, cared for the villain or something.
Okay, yeah, Zabuza was pretty cool, but still.
That's his name? Okay. That's been so long.
Yeah, Zabuza and Haku. They're great.
My number 2 is Full Metal Alchemist, the manga. I don't think there's much I need to say because both of them have talked about it, but my main thing I need to talk about is just that they didn't mention is how much the manga is better than both animes. It's just the arc how it did for like one thing is Envy's true form. That looks amazing in the manga because of how detailed the drawing is, which that probably took her a week to draw alone. But then you look at the anime version and it's just CGI. Complete utter CGI.
So bad. Yeah, so bad.
Yeah, and also I love how this is something that no one mentions. She had an amazing power system in alchemy, which could have been used to make a completely normal story. Like you could have used it to make like a thing where you just battle random enemies using alchemy, and they have different types of alchemy. But instead, they didn't use it like that. The enemies mostly don't use alchemy because they can't.
I feel like that's a diss against Jojo.
Yeah, exactly. That is a diss against Jojo. I like how they didn't make it. It's not another devil as the enemy. It's not another science user. It's not a demon. It's something completely unique. Every enemy has its own power. It's not just an alchemy beast. I mean, it literally is an alchemy beast, but you get my point.
Yeah. Before we move on from Fullmetal Alchemist, I just want to point out, I think the art style of the first anime is so much better than Brotherhood.
I will agree. Brotherhood is just generic. That's actually my biggest problem with Hunter x Hunter. Also, 2011 is really good, but like 1999 has great style, and I really would have loved to see Chimera in that style.
I just think the original one's just so much more unique.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like Hunter x Hunter and Brotherhood both fell to generic anime style.
Yeah.
And also in 1999, Biscuit looks much better.
Okay.
So my number 2 was Demon Slayer. So I was just like really surprised by how good this anime was, because someone told me to watch it and I thought it was gonna be some dumb dumb vampire story but with demons instead.
Well, that's an interesting way of putting it.
Well, the way that they described it was weird. Because they didn't talk about anything else besides Nezuko, so they were just like, oh, it's about a girl who gets turned into a demon, and I was like, all right, I guess that sounds weird, but
that was their only description.
Yeah, basically, never talked about Tanjiro at all. But so then when I actually watched it, like for the first few episodes, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, and then I kept watching like from like maybe episode 6 to episode like 9, I was like, wow, this is getting pretty good. I want to watch like this whole show. Once we saw the main villain in like episode 9, we saw him that early. I was like, wow, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, you should read the manga.
I know, I will.
You should read the manga.
And then just consistently after that episode, from like episode 10 to all the way to 25, I was just blown away. And it might have something to do with how I watched it, because I was on a car ride, or we were on like a trip, and so I would just always watch it in the car. So I got an actual chance to binge watch it. But I'm really glad I got that chance, because it just blew me away with like how good the fight scenes were, and it's like an actual just really emotional story. It made me cry once. And you know, it has some of the best sequences I've seen in anime, with episode 19 being the best example, of course. Yeah, it's really great, and I am really excited to read the manga. Just getting through MHA.
I just found the most cursed shit ever. I'm gonna show you that after the video.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it for Demon Slayer.
Okay. So my number 2 is Chainsaw Man, the manga, because I love this manga so much. Just I believe that the number 1 is just that much better. But anyway, Chainsaw Man is just amazing. I actually what?
We know what it's gonna be already. Travis, your number 1.
We all know.
Yeah, we know
what ones are gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, so Chainsaw Man's just so good that, well, it was the first actual manga that I like officially read, because I read Dragon Ball Super before that, but I read that so infrequently that I don't really count it. Chainsaw Man, I finished it, and I was like depressed for like 5 days, because I was genuinely attached to to some characters, and it's just so good. Because there's stuff that you don't expect, and there's a whole scene about snowballs, and whenever I see Snowball, I want to cry.
Yeah.
I know what scene you're talking about.
And let's not forget the fact that there's there's always that shower scene between Denji and Power, which is the best scene in the
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm stopping. I'm stopping.
Sign me up.
So should we go on to the number 1s?
Yep. I think we all know what all of ours are gonna be. So
I don't know what yours is gonna be.
It's gonna be Jojo.
Oh, of course.
Did you not expect this from him?
Okay,
All
number
right.
1, One Piece. What a surprise! What a surprise! One Piece is a series that's so good that despite me reading it for 1,000 chapters, which took 2 months for my first time. I think it was 1 month. I don't know.
It took you 3 weeks.
It was definitely at least a month. And it was so good that after reading it for that long, I still wanted to read it again. And it's because of how great every character is, that you get attached to everyone. The arcs are great, the story's great, the action is mediocre, but that's not really what it's focusing on. It never tried to be good at action. And I don't think there's a single moment that is, even the worst arc is still amazing. That's genuinely my point. My point being, there's nothing really bad about this. About One Piece.
yeah.
Anyway, so you're gonna talk about your JoJo now, huh? Your JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
So number 1 on my list is going to be Himigo. No, I'm kidding. So number 1 on my list is going to be Redo of a Healer. No, it's going to be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I knew you were going to mention Himigoto at some point.
I didn't expect
Yeah,
that to be
I
a
mean,
killer reference.
It's the best anime, I know, right? So yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because it might just have something to do with it being the first anime I watched fully at least. But you know, just even from the first episode, I was like, "This is good." You know, this is really good. It got bad, like a couple episodes into part 1, but then you get to part 2, which is just such a drastic improvement that you just have to notice. And part 2 is still my favorite part, by the way, just because it's such a simple story, but like told so well. it has its low points as well. Part 3, kind of mediocre, but then he starts perfecting his style with just part 4 through even part 8, which, I can't mention the manga, but they're all just really, really great, and I love the characters. Jojo is dumb fun, but I don't care because it is just the perfect dumb fun. You can just sit back with anyone and watch this, and they can have a good time with it. And
Unless you don't like anime.
yeah, unless you don't like anime, but it's dumb fun, and I like it, and it's just created so many great characters and scenes and inside jokes and stuff. So that maybe it's also a nice friend aspect as well, because now I can talk about this long ass series, which is just infinitely worth talking about. All right, yeah, I'm good.
So my number 1 is Boruto. Naruto, that's a joke.
We're not doing this.
I know. I'm so angry Colin did that because I wanted to say Boruto, but it's not as funny anymore. But yeah, okay. So, in my opinion, the best series is obviously One Piece.
Boku no Pico.
Just Jury on Ice.
Yeah, Boku no Pico.
Yeah, One Piece is so good. Like, okay, so the only arc that I genuinely did not like that much was Skypiea. But even at that was still good because they set up a bunch of lore for it and stuff. Like, so I'm currently on chapter 735 in the. Am I allowed to say the arc name? Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think people would care, but I still don't do it just in case.
The only reason I'm saying it is because Colin hasn't read it.
Well, I don't think it really cares to know the name of the location.
Okay. Yeah, the current Archimon, which is Dressrosa, is just really good. And there's so much stuff. Like, I read the entirety of an arc called. Well, I read the entirety of the arc before Time Skip, like, in one day. And right when something really impactful happened, I had a doctor's appointment. And then right after it, another really impactful thing happened. Well, I was not in a good mood that day. But it's honestly amazing. The Water 7 arc is still my favorite arc, but it's just amazing. So, and I'm not even done with it.
So, yeah, I guess that's the end of this video.
Should we do honorable mentions, or?
Yeah, I can do some honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are
You're supposed to do that before your number 1,
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I'm just gonna say a bunch of random stuff. I was thinking of including ReZero because it's amazing, or Konosuba, but I think Konosuba is just, it's not really have enough of a plot to interest me. Also, if we're gonna talk movies, then I didn't include the silent voice, but that definitely would have been on here if we were counting movies.
If we were counting movies, I'd just put Super Broly on here and just not even mention the rest of Dragon Ball.
Super Broly would have been on here in place of Dragon Ball also.
Well, my honorable mentions, I guess, probably ReZero, but, just all the ones I haven't finished yet. I might put that on there. Well, for sure I put that on there. It's great.
Also, All You Need Is Kill, that got adapted into a movie.
Oh, okay.
All You Need Is Kill is good.
I can let you finish, sorry.
And so my honorable mentions are Bleach, Mob Psycho, Death Note, and MHA.
So
mainly because all of those are just really good and they're different things. I'm not far in Bleach. If I had read as much Bleach as I had Naruto, it'd probably be on the list. But then again, I'm on chapter 60 something, so yeah. Death Note is my favorite anime ever, still. But it's just the second part of it is just so not as good as the first that I just didn't want to mention it.
Bad.
MHA, it's not the best.
We don't need to go through this whole thing. We don't need to go.
I was going to, but no.
So yeah, mine
anyway,
is just...
so
I didn't even finish mine.
Sorry, you go.
So mine is...
Anyway, so...
Stop. ReZero for sure. I mean, probably not Love is War. I mean, it's good, but not that good. If I could put games, I'd put Danganronpa, but
Shut the fuck up.
it's okay. I mean, maybe when I watch that anime after I play 2 and Ultra Spare Girls, maybe that anime is good enough that I'll put it on there eventually. But yeah, I haven't really seen any other animes that I think would be worth putting on there. The only ones I didn't mention were One Punch Man, and that might be just for the first season.
I would recommend that everyone reads Dr. Stone because I now know how to make moonshine because of it.
The spoke Kashibi Rohan.
I would recommend that everybody reads One Piece because it's good.
Ogie, and Hibigoto, which I definitely would not put on there.
Oh, I forgot to mention the biggest problem with One Piece. Easily is Oda. He is not good at drawing females uniquely unless he draws them like insanely ugly on purpose, like like Lola.
Honestly, yeah, that's fair.
Like every character either looks like Nami or Robin. There is no exception. Like
Rebecca.
Rebecca looks identical to Nami if you just change the hair.
Yeah, I guess.
So is he like the worst artist then?
He's not good at he's good at differentiating men but not women unless he draws them like insanely ugly on purpose. Like there's a good examples of that.
Yeah.
He's a really good artist. It's just he doesn't know how to draw.
I'm sure we know who the best manga artist is that we've seen, right?
Probably Araki.
Yeah.
Or Toriyama, one or the other.
I would say Toriyama.
They're pretty equal.
I mean, but that's like so much less detailed, right?
Well, yeah, but he's a master of action, as everyone says on the internet.
I honestly, Colin, I don't think you've seen a certain manga panel. That's the only reason I'm talking about
I
it.
don't know what the hell you're talking about with a certain manga panel.
Oh,
Just
Goku
wait
versus
here.
Jiren.
Wait,
Like
just
when
wait
they're
here,
punching each other.
That's Toyotaro.
It's still good.
That's
Yeah,
not
keep-
Toriyama.
I don't care.
Reading,
Still like it.
keep
Same
reading
style.
Part A, Travis. You'll see. There's
No.
some really, really great stuff in there.
Yeah. Also, just saying. I do want to give an honorable mention to the Naruto artist for drawing 2 huge things that are amazing, like that shot of pain,
Yeah. That is so good.
Yeah, the amazing detail, and also that shot of Sasuke near the end of the manga is one of my favorite.
That is also
drawings.
great. Yeah.
But
I want to make that my profile picture, but there's like spoilers in it.
yeah. My profile picture is Stephen Williams. You might be like, who the fuck is Stephen Williams? He's the CEO of
That's
Frito.
CEO of Fritos that I googled for this song, and when I
My favorite anime is Steven Universe.
probably like
We need to end this recording.
Is
It's going-
Stephen
this is awful.
Williams.
This is awful.
it was,
Yeah.
but when I saw
Anyways,
his picture, I know who that
This is the end of the discussion.
is, man.
Like and
It's
subscribe to the next episode, and
Japan.
no
Japan.
brain, no brain, no brain, no brain.